everyone. Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. We got a big show for you guys today. We're going to talk about the LSU women winning the national championship in college basketball. We'll talk about the Angel Reese / Caitlin Clark trash talking thing that happened that had the whole world buzzing. And we'll talk about Jill Biden wanting to invite Iowa to the White House, which got me very, very upset. But before we get into that, I'm joined by my good friend who you can catch on CrescentCitySports.com, the one and only VK Jones. VK, what's going on?
Bow! What's going on, baby? We're in the state of Louisiana. We're in the state of champions up in here. Bow down to the presence of greatness. Bow down to the presence of greatness up in the state up in here. But we've been doing the salute of champions, and it's amazing that LSU women has won the national championship at a right time that we've been honoring a lot of great programs in basketball all over the state, including our high school state champions. We got another one that's going to be coming with us today. And it's a good time that we got the LSU championship celebration today, that we're saluting Baton Rouge once again. And we got one of our coaches that's a guest today that has a very great program that's been thriving.
Yes, our special guest today, he is the head coach of the Port Allen Pelicans boys basketball team. He led his team to a fourth straight state championship title. Our special guest for today, Coach DiMario Jackson. Coach, how are you doing today, sir?
Coach? Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost Coach right
right there.
We lost Coach. We'll get Coach back in a second. I promise you we will. Get Coach back up in here, hopefully.
Yeah, come back to us, Coach. We see. I know you just stop for a second.
It was all good.
We said it for you right this time, because I screwed up the time that we did. Yeah, I did one of the semifinal games with them in it, and I said something wrong on the broadcast. I had to correct it. The team that's going for a 3-peat, like, no, we're going for 4-peat, 4. So he put that in my head, and I even made the mistake when they in the press conference as well.
Gosh, VK. Coach, there we go. He's going to log out. Hopefully he'll log back in, and we'll get Coach back up in here. Man, gave Coach a big intro and everything. But yes, Coach DiMario Jackson, he's the head coach for the Port Allen Pelicans boys basketball team. He led them to their fourth straight state championship. So hopefully we get Coach back in here. Let's try this again. Let's get Coach back in here. Coach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Coach, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well, man. How y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
We doing good. We got it right this time, Coach.
Okay.
We wasn't gonna disrespect you this time, man. I didn't mean it. I always got number love for you and your program. You know the mistake I made in top 28, but I made sure that we got together. We like, no, we go make sure we do this right for Coach, because I don't want to come on here, man. Not at all.
No, man, there's no disrespect at all.
Yes, sir.
Coach, how does it feel to have won 4 straight state titles?
Well, man, first, you give credit to God, man. And the first two that the program won was with Coach Jones, which was 2019, 2020, and 2020, 21. And then I took over in 21. Speaking from my own experience, in the program, I mean, I think, man, I give a lot of credit to the staff and to the players, to our administration, man. Everybody from day one for me bought into the vision, and just locked into what we wanted to do. And when I came in, program had won 2 in a row. So my job was to continue to elevate the program, to continue to win at the highest level. And I feel like we've done that.
Coach, I know you've had, when it comes to this senior class, I know some of them were on this team when they were freshmen. And to me, it is quite an achievement to win 4 state championships in your high school basketball career. What makes this senior class so special?
I mean, it's a different group, man. I'll speak on each of them individually. Uh, and I'll start with Frank. Frank transferred over. Actually, my first year at Port Allen was Frank's first year transferring over to Port Allen, coming from Bruley. Him coming over to a new environment, to those expectations. Man, I thought he did a great job of handling it. Frank was a kid that completely mastered his role. And some kids fight the role. Some kids feel like their role should be a little bigger. They should be able to do more. But not one time did he try to fight it. He completely locked in. Hey coach, this is my role. Okay, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for us to be successful. He did that his junior year and his senior year, man. So that's a real credit to him. Uh, Isaiah, we get Isaiah my first year at Port Allen too. He got eligible at the break due to some grade issues. And man, he was special for us from day one. We were able to do so much offensively, just because of the things that he can do, man. He's electric with that basketball. Like he see it before you see it. Like he
Mm-hmm.
see the open guy before you can say, hey, look, he open. He already see it. He did it all for us, man. He defended, he guarded the best player, he rebounded, he blocked shots, he scored, he created, he whatever you name it, he did it. And he was a tremendous asset, man. And then EJ, man, you talk about Frank and Isaiah who come in and go 2 for 2. Like both years they win 2 state championships. Isaiah this year was the most outstanding player. And then Elliot McQuillan, man, he's the one freshman that was there. I mean, the one senior that was there all 4 years. So freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, that kid state champion. He's never lost in the playoffs in his high school career. And with that being said, he's actually contributed to every last one of them. Like he wasn't somebody that his first year he just kind of rolled away. Nah, he played big role, big minutes, from his freshman year all the way up to his senior year. And with a chance, he actually have a chance for his jersey to go up to the Raptors. I know as long as I'm at Port Allen, nobody will wear number one. Matter of fact, we've already ordered a jersey to contradict somebody wearing that jersey. Because I mean
Wow.
that's special, man. You talk about coming to high school and just going 4 for 4 like that. That's unheard of. That when you actually contributing to those championships.
There's,
Uh, so man, that senior class for us been huge, man. Been huge.
there's not too many athletes that has done that before, going 4 for 4 and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Um, One question I want to ask you, right quick, and I hate to interrupt you, because he made me think of something quickly about EJ and Isaiah.
Hold on
Tell
one
us how
second. Hold on
big.
1 second,
No,
y'all.
no problem. No problem. All right.
4 for 4.
Four for
Be on the
four.
team.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
listening, y'all.
EJ and Isaiah, those two guys, and I mean, they came up big in the semis. My goodness, what you can say about them, how much yeoman's work they put that night against Patterson, because that was a game of chess like I've never seen in a basketball game.
Man, you know what? If you look at my expression, and even if you watch during the game while those kids are doing what they're doing, man, I'm not surprised. Because you're talking about those two dudes, man. We start school at 8:10. You're talking about 3 and 4 days out the week, in the preseason leading up to the season. Those dudes in the gym at 5:30.
Wow.
So or
Mm,
we get down preseason conditioning. Most high school kids they going home after that.
mm.
Not them two. They came into the year talking about being the best duo in the state. And honestly, I may be a little biased, but I feel like they were. So seeing them go tit for tat, that none of us were surprised because we actually had been waiting for that to happen all year. All normally during the season, this season, one of them would be going, and the other one to kind of just take the back seat and watch him go. Well, in that semis game, EJ scored 2 in a row, Isaiah come back and scored 2 in a row. and then EJ come back, and Isaiah come back, and then I appreciate those guys because somebody on our bench got a tech. I didn't get the tech, so I had to sit down. So that kind of not take me out the game, but that kind of play a role in our team. So that just also show the leadership those guys have, man.
Coach, it's hard to win one state championship. It's hard to go back to back. It's hard to do a three-peat, but a four-peat. Talk about how hard was it to make this happen?
Expectation and privilege, man. I don't want, and this for anybody listening, any principal, any, whoever may be listening. I don't want a job that don't have expectation. Pressure is privilege. I don't want a job that don't have pressure because that's probably a lot of comfortability. That's probably a lot of mediocrity. We don't do mediocrity. Taking that job on, man. You expected to win. And win at the highest level. So a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of thought, a lot of stress go into it, but it's all worth it.
Before I pass it on to VK, you've been the head coach for the past 2 years. What is it that you've learned about yourself being a head coach?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a great question. Um, just you know, just being able to. One thing I struggled with in my coaching career earlier on. I mean, year 6, year 7 next year, was wanting kids to kind of see the value of the game like I do. But I had to realize that what the game did for me, it may not do for some of these kids that I coach. So one of the things that I struggle with, which I don't mind saying, was I had a problem with kids that didn't value that ball like I do. Because my mom worked 3 jobs. She couldn't afford college. That God blessing me, with the ability to play the game is what allowed me to maneuver through college and be able to go get 2 degrees like I have, and be able to take care of my family like I do. So I had to learn that what the game do for me, it may not do for the next person. What it means to me, it may not mean to some of the kids that I coach. So one of the things that I had to learn was how to meet our players right where they are and not allow them to settle for where they are, but push them by, they say don't let basketball use you, you use basketball. So by using that ball to motivate them to do whatever it is they want to do. So, that's something I learned about myself and being able to have patience, and being able to kind of meet kids right where they are. And I think that's something we struggle with as coaches, period. Because we all want right now results. We all do. I mean, look at the transfer portal. But we still got to be able to develop. We still got to be able to, I use the saying bend but don't break. It's certain stuff that I might let you slide with because we got certain kids that's helping their family. We got certain kids that they got to babysit because they have no other choice. But as far as we bend but we don't break, and we meet kids right where they are, man, and being able to help elevate them.
Coach, I'm gonna ask you this a little bit. I tell you one thing. I know the fourth time is something else, and looking at 2-part question. For one, do you think that this playoff one was probably maybe one of your toughest, especially with the semifinal game, how that went, especially the finals with 2 teams you faced had a lot of size, really gave y'all a lot of work, but y'all really overcame it and won the championship. But the other part is this: the semifinal game against Patterson and the strategies used in the overtimes.
I knew you were going to.
I had to because it was the most amazing thing I ever seen. Do you think that Patterson more than anything else ran out of bullets in the chamber and felt like, okay, we're gonna stay in the zone. That's what we're gonna be. It don't matter. Top 4 of my 6 are gone. We're gonna have to make a stop at the last second. And you felt in your mind, hey, let's wait till the last second. What do you talk about the strategy? What was you thinking, especially going in those overtimes?
Well, man, first part is about the toughest part. I think, man, if you look, I'm not sure if y'all had a chance to kind of look at our schedule, man, but man, if you go through and look at our schedule, it ain't much we haven't seen. I mean, we talk about at least 10 teams on our schedule was in the semis. You know, Carver, we played them. Peabody, we played them. Madison Prep, we played them. Um, Catholic, we played them. Scotlandville, we played them. Um, Shucks, man. And the list goes on, man, of the teams that was there that we played. So I don't know if you're really watching the game, you realize our guys never flinched during Patterson. You know, we just kept coming, kept coming, as well as they did. I knew, and I'll take some blame because we knew they was gonna kind of put us at a size disadvantage, but I didn't think both of those bigs was as good as they are. I'll be honest and say that. And I'll be honest, we watched probably about 7 to 8 films, and I just didn't see that. So I'll take the blame for some of that. But as far as the toughest, maybe that game, was one of the toughest games. But our playoff run, I don't want to say that's my toughest. It's one of the toughest, and it's kind of just based off that semifinal game. Because if you go back and look at any of the other games we played, none of them was close. The championship, the first round, or the quarterfinal round. So in the playoffs, man, you always have that one game that that's gonna kind of you gonna be in the dogfight, and that was our game, man. As far as the strategy, we never flinch, man. That's a shot to our staff, to the staff, and to the players on the floor. And we knew. I think it might have been about 5 or 6 minutes left in the fourth. If we can just get this thing to overtime, we're gonna win the game. And we talked about it. We gonna our exact rush to the team when we win the tip, we're gonna hold this ball. Because they're not gonna come out the zone because one, they're in foul trouble. Two, they cannot guard us. That's why they play zone the whole game. And we held it. It's a gamble. I've actually seen that gamble go both ways. I've seen teams lose because they do it. I've seen teams win and do it. And I'm one of those guys, man. I'm a risk taker. I don't, I'm not a guy to second guess. If we say we're gonna go with something, we going with it. And if it don't go well, I got big shoulders.
It was just amazing because it was the fact of the matter is, and some people kind of criticized Patterson, but I was like, he had no choice. When you got 4 of your top 6 out, you got 2 left. It's like we got no. I seen and I seen very few times in sports where coaches have no choice to go with this strategy, no matter
Not to
what.
cut you
Because
off. Not to cut you
go
off.
ahead.
During the midst of that, the coach from Patterson and myself, we kind of caught eye, and I just looked at him and smiled. He knew why I was smiling too, because you got at that in the first overtime, the guys were still in, but they all had 4 fouls, correct?
Actually, they had
So
4
so
fouls.
he knows, like, man, if I come out this zone, the way the game is being called, these guys when they get to the rim and a foul is probably about to be called.
You
So
are on the money.
right. So he's in a situation to where if I go man, they're gonna foul out. The zone was working for him, for a good bit of the game. So, it's
And
how it go, man. It's
and
give
and,
and take.
and the officiating kind of took it away just a little bit because of the fact on both ways it was like so tight in the second half. It was like, man, we was hoping no casualties be coming out from both teams, and then it was crazy how it wound up being.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's an understandability, like you got no choice. It's just like
Yeah.
you gotta go with it and see if it works. And all of a sudden, Patterson was so fortunate that they forced a second overtime
Time. Yep, they did.
and even a third. And it's like unbelievable
When they
because
forced that second overtime, I think I turned around to my wife and kind of like wiped my forehead, like, oh God.
mm, mm,
And it was
yeah,
that was a game, man. I said in the interview, man, that has to go down as one of the best high school games ever.
yes,
Like
yes.
Most
especially
definitely.
in that
Oh my
in that
goodness.
setting for sure.
Yes.
And it's the fact that the whole week there was 4 overtimes. That might be the most ever
Yeah,
for a top 28.
yeah.
Unbelievable what we've seen all week. But the
And
next
that,
question I want go ahead.
and then that win goes. We won that game in preseason, man. Because I'll be honest, man, our preseason is a bit extremist. Like we start preseason like we started back working out 2 weeks ago. Well, a week ago. So we in week 2 of we break down the season. So like we'll have a preseason for summer league, and then we have our actual preseason um for the real season. And our preseason, man, are they extremists. Like we lifting, we running, we lifting, we running, we lifting, we running. We got skill development in the mornings. We might have some skill sessions after school. Uh, so and we won. I feel like we won that game. We won that style of game in the preseason, and that's something we've been preaching to the guys, since we've started back working out.
Your thoughts a little bit how things are going with EJ McQuillan, and is he signed? Because I know we talked about that after the state championship and everything. I know he's being looked at. Has he signed or any kind of ideas of where he's going?
His recruitment is picking up daily, man. I've said this. I've said this to 2 college coaches I spoke with today. I feel if this was 4 years ago, where they didn't have the portal, EJ and Isaiah would both be no brainer. They would at least have 5 or 6 D1 offers. But with the transfer portal, with everybody's trying to win right now, the development is kind of out the window now. So it's hard, man. But those guys, it's picking up daily, day by day for both of those guys.
Yeah, I wish him the best, and I hope he gets a good offer somewhere. One of I seen earlier. One of the Carver players, Jalen Hicks,
Yeah,
actually went visited Northeast Mississippi.
which
I
is
don't
my
know if he's signed or not or official, but he definitely was up in there visiting today. So it's interesting, and nothing wrong with going the junior college route as well.
I
You'll
went.
get
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
and not at all, especially Mississippi, especially out there in Texas, some real good competition,
Yep.
and a lot of the D1s look at them real hard. So, I'm gonna ask you this also as well. It's amazing how you went against your mentor early in the season, and that's Coach Jones out there at Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all won or lost, but regardless of the fact, uh, how do you feel? Not just the fact that you picking up what he left off when he started winning 4 straight, but for your mentor
Mhm.
to shock the top 28 and beat Scotlandville to win the state championship.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. Me and my staff said if it was one team in that division that could beat Scotlandville, it was Catholic. That was the one team that I thought because of their because of Coach Jones, and their personnel with Coach Jones' son coming back, Nico. Man, those dudes got 5 point guards out there, and they all 5 of them could shoot the basketball. So those shots fall and they defend, and they're disciplined. And on offense, man, them dudes don't stop moving. So if it was anybody that could beat Scotlandville, me and my staff felt that it was Catholic, and I think that that's major for Coach Jones and the Catholic High School Bears, man. They have something special brewing over there for sure. They're gonna be around for a long time. A lot of those dudes come back. Nico is only gonna get better. And with Coach over there, man, who's won everywhere he's been. Those dudes gonna continue to win, man. They beat us. They beat us this year, 61-62. It was Coach Jones' first time back at Port Allen since he left. So it was a really good environment. They beat us 61-62 at the very end. We had a shot
Wow.
to win it. It rimmed in and rimmed out.
Mm. VK,
Wow.
let me piggyback off your question right quick.
Go ahead.
Coach Jackson, um, Coach Derek Jones, how was he an influence to you when you was on his staff at Port Allen before you got the head coaching job?
Well, I didn't work with Coach Jones.
Okay.
Uh, the year before I did 3 years at Bruley. I did a year at Zachary, which is we won state at Zachary, and
Yeah.
then I came over to Port Allen.
Okay.
So Coach Jones and I never worked together. We always was in contact with each other and stuff like that because I mean, one when I was at Bruley, Bruley and Port Allen are rivals,
Yeah.
and then Port Allen is basically like home for me. So just being able to watch those guys and see what they was doing, but we never worked together.
Okay.
but you have a lot of respect for Coach Jones and everything else. So, and that's really, really big for a coach to understand. Like, yeah, I know I'm continuing the success, but we got to recognize the person who started it more than anything else. And I'm just continuing it along the way. And then for you knowing that this Port Allen is your home, is your alma mater. And that's amazing that everything is coming in the full circle for you.
But yeah, man, I'm a guy. I mean, I'm gonna give respect where it's due, man, and Coach Jones is due of his respect. How what he did to jumpstart this thing at Port Allen and get Port Allen basketball to to the height that it was when I took it on. That's major props to him, man. I think when I got it, man, it was Coach Jones called me, Coach, man, let's keep it going, So like I said earlier in the interview, man, pressure is privilege.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another thing is big story, like we mentioned about Coach Derrick Jones pulling off that upset, not just an upset, but a big win against Scotlandville and the strategy he put together. Carlos Sample resigning at Scotlandville, and I mean after a long, long tenure over there,
Yeah,
what
man.
are what are your thoughts of him resigning and look like possibly he might be taking the next level job, maybe?
Man, I don't even know if I have the words for what he's done at Scotlandville, man. Being the consistency and being able to sustain what he's done over there, man. I don't know who's going in behind him, but woo, that's those some shoes that I don't know if you'll ever be able to feel.
It,
Uh, you
it's
know,
just like you said perfect. Like it's a privilege you have don't have pressure, but I know that's a lot of pressure right
a
there,
lot of
Coach.
pressure, but it's privilege. But oh man, the run is 14 years in a row.
14 years in a row in the state championship. He was a coach for 16 years, 14 championships in a row. 12. I think it's 12 state titles, two runner ups, I believe, three runner ups now. So that's amazing run for him.
And to be honest, man, that's the. I mean, I have a
Not
relationship.
12. I'm sorry, eight state
Eight.
titles,
Eight. Yes.
eight state titles, four runner ups.
I have a relationship with Coach Sample, man, and it's coaches like himself, man. Himself, the Jeff Jones of the world, the Derrick Jones of the world, the John McClintons of the world, the Ty Russ of the world. Those are the dudes that I look up to, man. And when we play each other, it's walk.
Right.
I want to win, they want to win. But going back to Coach Sample and what he did at Scotlandville, man, that's unheard of, man. 14 years in a row, from what he's done, the talent that the guys that he's coached and how he gets those dudes to play in the system that he has, man, is crazy. Like he gets all those dudes to just consistently buy into what he wants done, and they get it done. The players that he's coached, man, from Reese to Scooter to Javante, man, it's Damian Jones. And the list just it just goes on and on. And, you know, them dudes just buy into, to what he's doing, man. And it's obvious that he's been successful and that it's proven that it works. So that it's a major credit to him and what he's done for high school basketball.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you this one more thing. I'm gonna let Jared finish things up. Your thoughts. I know Baton Rouge is the place to be so far. You named some. You one of the great coaches out there, especially you have Derek Jones. You got Coach Jones out of Madison Prep, McClendon, Brandon White. You got some great programs in Baton Rouge. That's like the place to be. That's like the hotbed in Southeast Louisiana right now. What are your thoughts on the LSU women winning the national championship? This makes the Baton Rouge place. This makes the Baton Rouge areas so deep in hoops now. I'm not. We're giving Baton Rouge a lot of props. We're from New Orleans,
Yeah,
Louisiana, and we can't have a hate in that because the fact I know some people be hating on it, but we can't hate on that because we know how good
Not at
it
all.
is. We know how good it is. But what are your thoughts on the LSU women winning the national championship? What does it say for Baton Rouge?
man. For Coach Marker to come in, man, her second year and get it done, man. That's a blessing, man. Get those girls to buy in, and they buy in, but they all you see that she allows them to be themselves.
Yes.
She
Yes.
don't try to put them in a box. They're disciplined within their own selves though. I'm not a guy that's against, you know, the way they play. I love it. We talked to our guys about playing with some swag. Play with that confidence. It's a fine line between confidence and cocky. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they just play with that confidence. I think they feel like nobody could beat them, and rightfully so, because they showed that nobody could beat them. So for the city, man, that's huge. Because we continuously trying to put Baton Rouge on the map when it comes to basketball. So, for those girls to do what they did, man, that's a blessing. That's major for the whole city, man. And we all are appreciative of Coach Mark and all of those girls.
The way you talking, coach, the way your persona is, and this is what I noticed as well. You kind of remind me a little bit how Deion Sanders is doing in Colorado and the way he was doing it. A true players coach
Yeah,
that knows what's happening and trying to relate to the kids. We're seeing a lot of that these days in these young coaches. We see that a lot with Coach Nate Roche at Carver.
my
I
God.
mean, a lot of, and I love it myself. I was an assistant at a middle school this year, just first year doing that and stuff, and it was amazing how both me and the head coach I was working with, they related us so much because we had to meet them where they were.
Yeah,
That's the most important thing. You got to teach them discipline, but you have to meet them where they are and understand what their conditions are.
yeah.
But you remind me so much of these young coaches, but especially how Deion Sanders handles things, especially being a players coach and trying to help them out and try to prepare for success.
Man, I watch a lot of Coach Prime videos, man. I'm not gonna call him Prime, I'm gonna call him Coach Prime.
Coach Pryor.
If it was that I would love to meet and just sit down and talk with, it'll definitely be Coach Prime, man. Every
Great.
video he put out, I watch it, and it's almost like I'm one of those players sitting there listening to him, talk. Like when his video come on, like he completely has my attention. And I think, and a lot of that goes back to to what you said, man. I can relate to what he's doing. You watch the videos and you see he let those kids kind of they got their chain on. It ain't too much, they got a chain on or something like that. It's not too much. I don't think nothing is wrong with it because you're allowing young men to still have fun. Sometimes we preach discipline, but we forget that the most important part about it is having fun. And I'm sometimes a victim of losing the sight of having fun too. I'm not gonna not admit that, but Coach Prime, man, he got the whole world on notice right now. And I've never cheered for Colorado in my life, but I'm a Colorado Buff fan right now, man. Because I love what he's doing, man. And like I said, I watch every video he has. I have a picture, like it's a picture of him who is still at Jackson. Um, I know the picture like it's my own picture. He got on a red sweater with a J on it, with some blue pants and some white shoes, and there's a picture of him kind of walking with his head down. And I can relate to that picture so much because I mean, as a head coach, man, we deal with so much, man. And sometimes our own selves kind of go missing. And that picture kind of reminds me of kind of what he went through. And then seeing and being able to like see the videos and stuff like that of the things he went through, and see him persevere, man. It gives a young cat like myself so much confidence, man, and so much hope. So Coach Prime is one of those coaches that he's a football coach, but he's probably one of my biggest motivators.
And I'm just hoping, like I ain't gonna lie, we knew a couple people. Colorado was big for some couple New Orleans and West Bank players. So, you know what I'm saying? My hope is for that program to get back on the rise, you know. So I'm not really a Colorado fan, like what Coach Prime is doing. I'm hoping Colorado does compete and win. That's what I'm hoping for past Buffaloes who've been there before. Go ahead, Jared. Go ahead and finish it up.
Coach, I want to know for next season, how many starters you got coming back? How many experienced players that saw the court last season are coming back also for your team?
We got honestly, man, we got experience and starters. We got two cats coming back that actually have experience, you know, in the way that I would explain experience or define experience. Which is number 3 for us, who had a really good championship game, Jazea, and then number 11, who's just our anchor, Aries Lewis. We have both of them coming back. Now everybody else, we've been telling them, you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to earn your respect, because nobody gonna respect you because you haven't done anything to get any of these rings. All right, so I mean, but we got some up and young and some young guns that's coming up. We're not going nowhere.
Well, we know that definitely not going nowhere. We know that for a fact, Coach. I'll get you out of here on this last question, Coach. Why did you want to become a coach?
Why did I want to become a coach? Wow. Oh man. Man, both of my degrees are actually in business. You see my other like shoe like that? No, baby, I ain't so. Wait, like this? What shoe you do? I'm coming, y'all.
You good, Coach?
Is in your room.
See, I got to get see what you're doing right now, Coach. I got to get ready for that too, because I got a daughter that's gonna be coming to stay with me soon, so I gotta be ready for what you're doing more than anything else. Be a full time father, so we already know what you doing, my brother. So keep doing.
I got a beautiful wife and I got 3 beautiful kids, man. I wouldn't trade them for nothing.
Absolutely,
it's beautiful. That actually helps me do what I do, you know.
Yeah.
But why I became a coach, man? Basketball is my thing, man. The game it does so much. It's done so much for me. You know, it took me places that I never thought I'd see in my life. You know, I graduated twice. I got an associate's and a bachelor's. You know, and I don't, you know, y'all know what Sally Mae is. I don't owe Sally Mae a dime, man. And
Yeah.
you know, I give credit to God, man. But you know, I also give credit. I also give that basketball a lot of credit too, man. You know, going to school for being able to go to school on scholarship, man. That did so much for me, man. You know, growing up with a single mom. You know, mom worked 3 jobs. You know, we never went without. You know, and being able to run up and down that floor, man, and just do what I love to do. You know, and coming out of college, you never know what you really want to do. Now you can go to college 4 years, you don't ever know what it is you really, really want to do. So I got home, man, and I'm like, man, it's time for me to find a job. You know, I never knew it was that hard to find a job. You know, I'm thinking like, man, I got education, I got 2 degrees. Oh man, they're gonna be a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Well, life don't turn out that way. So man, I actually
that.
called from Kirby Luke, who's the head coach at Bruley High School, which is Bruley High. Bruley is where I graduated from. Bruley is my alma mater. Okay. Like, man, what you think about coaching? I'm like, man, that don't sound like a bad idea. So it's funny how things work. In the midst of that going on, I was at the gym with my trainer, who's actually my brother, who's actually my assistant coach now. And a guy came up to me and was like, man, I'm thinking about starting my own AAU program. I want you to run it. I want you to be the coach of it. So hold on, y'all, one second. So yeah. So I'm like, man, I say, so wait. In a matter of about 2 weeks, I done got asked to coach here and coach there. Man, God must be telling me something, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
man, so what I did was, I'm like, man, coach, let me think. I'm so to Coach Luke. I'm like, man, let me think about it, you know. So what I started test the water with the AAU thing. And man, I was actually pretty good. I'm like, okay, well maybe. Now maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, man. And that's kind of how I got started. So I started off teaching PE at Bruley Middle School. Uh, I did a year there. The football coach, who's still the football coach at Bruley right now, Hoff Schooler, and he's the athletic director. He would come in the gym and just watch me, you know, watch us work while we doing our thing basketball wise. Now, mind you, he a football coach that never did basketball, so he don't really knows what he's looking at. So ironically, man, one day he said, "Man, I know you played football. I would love for you to coach football." So I'm like, "Well, man, I don't even know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just really it's basketball. So I'm like, I could come out here and just do my thing. I know enough, to carry me over. I'm young, energetic, love to see kids get better. So
Mm-hmm.
now you asking me to do football. Like I played football. I was playing basketball, playing football. Like I played slot receiver, never got hit. Like I was Euroing before Euro came out. Like I was going Euro out of bounds. Like you wasn't gonna hit me. No, sir, that wasn't happening. So man, I go out there and coach football. I end up going teach PE from third to fifth grade level. And man, it just went from there. Like I continued, I had my own AAU program. Um, all 3 years at Bruley, we were successful, man. We went to the quarters. My first year, we lost in the second round. My second year, then my third year, we lost in the semis to Bossier. And then went on to Zachary, and it's just from last time I checked, man, I was just starting to coach. Now I'm on year 6. I don't feel like I've worked a day in my life, So obviously, I'm doing what God called me to do.
Without a doubt, and you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah,
Look like God gave you a gift, and the gift made room for you, my man. So
man.
that's big time for you, man. That's huge.
So man, my why is, man, I have a 9-year-old son, man. And I look at every kid I coach. I look at it as my kid.
Yeah.
And none of those kids that I've coached know they can call me at any time of the day, any time of the night, and I'm coming. Now I might be a little sleepy, my bag might be under my eyes, but I'm coming. I've helped a tremendous amount of young men get in college. Still have some kids in college. So man, I don't take any credit, man. I give all my credit to God, man.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Definitely. Coach Jackson, we thank you for joining us. Good luck next season and get that 5 P.
Oh man, drive to 5, baby. The dynasty continue.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, coach.
Thank you,
Thank
Coach.
y'all for having me,
Thank
man.
you. No
Definitely.
problem.
Yes, sir.
That was Coach DiMario Jackson. And 4P, he's been the coach for the last 2. They're going to be highly favored again to win another state championship. And it's a powerhouse at Port Allen. We know this. Do
And
you like that?
it's a powerhouse that is just so under the radar comparing to Scotlandville and all these other programs, but they are a powerhouse now, and Baton Rouge has got to recognize that more than anything else. They're there. No disrespect, they are one of the top programs in the state
In the state.
and also in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and that's just how deep that freaking god doggone region is. That's just what it is. But this year it was a little more surprising that we didn't see the dominance of Baton Rouge in the state championships. We just seen 2 teams win it. One of them was probably the one big surprise. But at the same time, it was a surprise that Southeast Louisiana took home 3. More than Baton Rouge. That's first time in years. But still, regardless of the fact that it's still a deep region, the Pelicans are going to be, and I mean that's the true Pelicans that are winning right now. I don't know if the New Orleans Pelicans are winning tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the it's bad, Jared. How bad is it?
Look, halftime they were down by 17. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. But I'll tell you right quick. Oh, they winning by 4 with 5 minutes left. they are
Well,
winning. They are winning by 4 points with 5 minutes left.
well, the killer instinct of the killing instinct of the with the Grizzlies strike again, right? Oh God,
We'll see.
it's
We'll see if they can
ridiculous.
hold it. We'll see if they can hold it.
Let's see it. Let's see it. The Pelican. It'd be a tremendous win after
Uh-huh.
what happened the other night, but you know it is what it is.
It's what it is.
But the Pels boys basketball team and Port Allen and Coach Jackson, what they're doing is amazing stuff, and they
Yes,
are going to be the favorites once again to win the state championship.
without a doubt, man. And he's doing a great job taking off from Coach where Coach Jones left off, and he implemented his own style, and the kids bought in, and everything is still just the train is still rolling. It has not stopped rolling at all, and you have to give Coach Jackson a lot of credit for what he's done and the drive for 5, like he said, to come next season,
The
man, without
drive,
a doubt.
the drive for 5, indeed. And it's just unbelievable. Like when you first, and it's the whole, and you can say it's not just it's the whole Baton Rouge area that's so freaking good. Because when you get to the beginning, even to Livingston Parish, you had Walker, they got a couple state championships. Then
Yes,
you go deeper to Livingston Parish, you go to Zachary,
yes,
that's got 2. Then you go right down Scotlandville, who's got about 8. You go to Catholic, who finally get 1, who just got into the picture more now.
yeah.
Then all the way down the road, you go where? Southern Lab. Then all of a sudden, you go a little bit more deeper, Port Allen.
But don't forget Madison Prep now. Hold
Madison
on.
Prep. Oh, we
Don't forget
forgot.
Madison
The
Prep
middle,
now.
the middle of Baton Rouge. The middle. Downtown. Not too far downtown. No disrespect to Jeff Jones. Good dude. We'll have him on soon. Madison Prep High School. That's how good it is. That's how good Baton Rouge is. You go the whole region, you got champions
You could
everywhere.
do a whole. Don't forget Liberty too. Liberty
Don't
too.
forget about Liberty,
Yes,
and don't forget about White Castle.
yes. You could do a whole 9-district schedule just in Baton Rouge because it's all the teams you got that are so great. But yeah, Baton Rouge right now, basketball wise in Louisiana, right now best area for high school boys basketball. We're not saying every team gonna win the state championship, but when you look at powerhouses in basketball, Baton Rouge is where it's at right
And a
now.
lot of them probably do win it because you think a lot of those, some of them are not in the same class.
Right. Exactly.
So there's great opportunities for multiple championships.
Without a doubt.
It's just like New Orleans right now in basketball. Baton Rouge off top is the toughest.
Yes.
Football, who you think is tough in football in which region?
Woo. Oh man. The toughest. See, football, it shifts. Because one year was Lafayette. Remember that?
Yeah,
Lafayette
one
up
year's
north at one
Lafayette.
time.
Baton Rouge, a couple years
Baton Rouge.
ran rough shot.
Zachary
So
Catholic.
South Zachary Catholic and
Yeah.
Dunham and all them. But then Southeast Louisiana gets back into the thing.
Yeah.
It varies in football. You
It
know what I'm
does.
saying? It
Yes, it
varies a
does.
lot.
That's right.
But it seemed like in basketball, Baton Rouge is just taking over in the last maybe 5 years. It's just been unbelievable of what they have done in that area.
Yeah.
Because you look at that area, the Southeast Louisiana area, the Lafayette area. So regardless of that Lafayette Lake Charles area, this is the best basketball in South Louisiana. But then you go to Central Louisiana with you got Peabody, who's
Yeah.
always deep up in
Anybody's
there,
there. Yeah.
and then truly the only true, really the only like you got 4 good North Louisiana teams, but 1 true power. Actually, two true powers. Bossier, who's really truly the party crashers
Mm-hmm.
in prep basketball.
Yeah.
Because you can be a good team Be awesome, be on a winning streak, go against Bulls in the semifinals championship. They'll end it. They'll end it because they're not going to be scared of nothing. You can see how their championship team was this year.
Yeah.
And when I said when you talk about a team that will slow down and force you to play man, they will hold the ball for 4 minutes and don't care. That's attitude ball for you. Because they're like, oh, this is our style. You ain't changing nothing. So Bolsher's the party crashers. Carroll, always a traditional power. Great history at Carroll. And then you got Washington is not bad. And then you also got Wassman. And hopefully one of these days, Casey Jones will finally win one at his alma mater. But those are the big four in North Louisiana and no more.
You got Rustin coming along.
Well, Rustin, yeah, they're gonna be back.
Power, but
they're coming up. They're coming up, and they were young this year, so I think they're gonna be back. Neville has been making some come ups last couple years and everything, making the top 28.
Hey,
West Monroe occasionally has a little something every now and then.
About who Port Island played in the championship? Winfield,
they usually have a little something. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I in the semis last year, and then that was the rematch in the championship.
Yeah, and Winfield had a good bit of size, but it seemed like I think that battle against Patterson really prepared Port Island in that championship game. I think that it was close early, but once they settled down, that was it. That was just it. Port Island just took off because the way it was looking similar to the start against Patterson, the way the size was going,
Didn't Winfield have the lead at halftime?
Yeah, they had 1 or 2. They had about a 2-point lead.
Yeah,
it was close, and they were being physical. Yeah, but I think they settled down and then got it together and took it off. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that was one of his toughest, and I'm glad he mentioned that. It was one of his toughest runs because you went against Port Island. I think their tough schedule really prepared them more than anything else. But them two teams was really physical. They went up against. They had to really earn their lunch,
And he knows because in that division, Port Island is a team that's talked about, and he's going to get everybody's best come that playoffs and regular season because they're champions. Target's on their back.
Exactly, and I'm glad he admitted that Patterson really gave them a time and had a great game plan.
Yeah,
it was just the fact the Bullets started to run up.
That's it, definitely. All right. So if you watch the women's national championship on LSU women winning the national championship, first basketball championship in school history. Think about it. Shaq played in the Final Four, never got to the championship. Chris Jackson played in the Final Four, never got to the championship. Simone Augustus, Sylvia Fowles got to the Final Four, never played in the championship.
Tamika Johnson.
Who?
Tamika Johnson.
Tamika Johnson, yes. Got to the Final Four, never played in the championship. This women's team got to the championship, first time in school history for basketball, and won the first basketball national championship. Let's get to the game. And I tell you what, man, I've talked about LSU women the whole year not being able to hit jump shots. They were not a good jump shooting team. They picked the perfect game to hit jump shots. I also said during the year that their best jump shooter is on the bench, and her name is Jasmine Carson. And my God, 21 points off the bench in the first half with Angel Reese, Kateri Poole, and Alexa Morris all in foul trouble. And it was just such a dominant win. It was very dominant. You could tell who the better team was, who had the better athletes, and Kim Mulkey's game plan was ran to perfection. And I sat here in a group chat with some friends of mine, and I sat there and said, they're not gonna play the same defense they played against South Carolina. They might sag off a little bit off of LSU's guards and just dare them to shoot, but they're not going to do what they did against South Carolina. And I said, Kateri Poole, not scared to shoot the ball. She will come into that mid-range, shoot a jumper. Alexis Morris, the same. She's coming to the mid-range, she will shoot a jumper. Florida Johnson will also shoot. She's not scared to shoot. What did we see? Alexis Morris coming into the mid-range, making shots. Kateri Poole pulling it, making shots. Florida had 11 points, which is pretty good for Florida Johnson, for the freshman. Jasmine Carson off the bench doing what she did. Angel Reese had a good game. You cannot say nothing bad. And defensively, they played great. Caitlin Clark was 9 of 20. She shot under 50%. She had 30 points. Yes, but still, you have to give LSU women all the credit, and they deserve each and every little bit of credit for what they did by winning that national championship. Go ahead, VK.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, and saying give a lot of props to Caitlin Clark. I tell you, man, I mean, she played unbelievable regardless of the fact.
Yes.
In a losing effort. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I'll be honest with you, looking at it, this was just the perfect storm. This is the perfect storm. And I'm glad what Andrew Reese said afterwards. God did, and I think God did for them that day. You have to think. They made 4 threes on Friday against Virginia Tech. So that was the most they made all season.
All year
long. And I didn't know about this until I got into the truck, about to leave the game between BRC and Delgado. I'm looking at the last couple seconds of somebody's phone, seeing what happens. I get in the car. Patrick Wright, who's the play-by-play man for LSU women on LSU radio. Big shout out to him. Great moment for that man. I hear what happened. He said, well, I'll tell you one thing. We got to thank the heavens for what happened on that floor. LSU shot 11 for 17 on threes. I'm like, what the hell? My mouth dropped. I said, that's the game. Oh, my Lord. 11 threes? I'm in this mug just unbelievable. I was like, LSU outplayed them from the jump, start to finish.
Yes.
I think Kim Mulkey outcoached Iowa's head coach.
Yeah.
And because of the fact of the matter is the strategy that Iowa had is a good strategy when they get South Carolina. They pounded the paint. They made sure they forced the outside shots on South Carolina, which was a hell of a strategy and everything else. And I was thinking, if LSU don't handle their business and they mess around, they gonna get beat, because you see it against Virginia Tech. The atrocious defense until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, LSU, I don't know what Kim Mulkey told them, but they came alive in the fourth quarter. For 3 quarters, we seen horrible freaking defense, how those shooters from Virginia Tech got open, and how that big girl, and she's not bad of a big at all. But it's just a fact of the matter is
she ain't all that, bro.
Let me tell you something. She's not bad of a big. She used her size to advantage. But here's my thing. Here's my thing on it.
I'm gonna rebuttal you after this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you. She did a good job, and she is decent as a big because of the fact she can get rebounds. The biggest thing that I seen, LSU's defense was so horrible because of the fact of the matter at the time. Why is she deep in the paint? You keep her out the paint, you get boards. She can't do anything. But when you let her get deep in the paint, that's all day. I don't care how good. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how, not bad the girl is. It don't matter if she that deep in the paint. Because then one play, Angel Reese guarded her late in the second half, and she pump picked and went through. I was upset, Angel. Why you let her get the lane? Cut it off. Just cut it off. That's it, You can't let people do what they can do.
Let me say this. Number one, when you are a woman that play college basketball and you are 6'6", you need to be dominant, pretty much.
Agreed.
You need to be the main focal point, like Elena Deladon was in college, like Sylvia Fowles was in college. You
Brittany
had to win.
Griner.
Brittany Griner. This girl, bruh, okay, she got a lot of rebounds from LSU shooting jumpers that they can't hit. Let's be real. Because they went to a zone defense. And LSU couldn't hit jumpers. That's where most of her rebounds come. Yeah, she had 18 points with 11 rebounds. Yeah, okay, nice. You're supposed to have that. But, man, you just said something. You said Angel Reese was guarding her at one time. Angel Reese didn't guard her much, but when she did, Angel Reese was fronting her. And this big 6'6" lady wasn't even trying to fight to get in front. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you 6'6". Get in front, spin move, post up. Ball goes other way, same thing, get there, spin move, get in front, post up. She wouldn't do none of that. And then when you 6'6", post up and demand a ball. Give me the ball. None of that. None of that. You saw Deja Williams get the ball on her. What are Deja Williams doing? Attacking her.
And then Angel Reese did the same thing. Went to work.
That
I agree with you saying. I agree with you. The thing was, they turned up in the fourth quarter.
Yes, sir.
For all 3 quarters, they just didn't. They let her do it. You can't let nobody do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of credit to the girl because you took advantage of what was there. She did a good job on it. But when the aggressive defense came, it started to wear down. It wore down, and I think that girl got tired too.
Did you see
with that,
you saw in the first quarter when she got a rebound and the Deja up here with her hands up in front of her face?
right?
She didn't know what to do. You got a freaking 4-inch advantage over Deja Williams. Put the ball back up. But anyway, let's get back to the championship.
Get back to the championship. Well, you take it from there to the semis and how terrible the defense were. But looking at how our strategy, and I'm thinking, LSU might be in trouble. They don't play good defense. They played better defense fourth quarter, but they played better defense start of the game against Iowa. Our strategy was good against South Carolina. But then here was the thing. When LSU started making shots early, Iowa's coach should have called a timeout and said, hey, we got to make adjustments right now.
Yeah.
I could see after making their third 3. If they start making 4 threes or 5, it's time to make an adjustment now. They're making it. We got to change now because they're making this much and we got to stop it before it gets worse. And then they make too much of an adjustment and it killed them. It definitely killed them.
Came out with a good run in the third quarter. It got
interesting. They did. But at the same, it wasn't enough. LSU kept answering. They answered big time. Their bench came up big and everything. You know, the day was meant for LSU to get the job done. I think LSU was a little motivated because of what happened in South Carolina, the perception with South Carolina and everything else and all. And this was, you have to think, they say this is the biggest rated ESPN event ever and stuff like that.
No. Most watched women's basketball national championship game with 9.9 million views.
Actually, the biggest college event ever. Go read it again. They said the biggest college event ever that the biggest, I'm talking about not women, college on
basketball,
ESPN.
We talking like basketball and football and everything.
No, college sports, period. They said this is one.
I can't believe this is bigger than the college football national championship.
It's close. It's kind of close to it. It's as big. They said it's one of the biggest, especially for basketball. One of the biggest ESPN. That's like probably top 5 ever, and probably one of the biggest ESPN Plus or ESPN events that they have seen in a minute. So they got some high ratings on that. Plain and simple. Here's the thing. Here's the big thing. There's something. It ain't just about the women's game, but there's something about the state of Louisiana. Look at the ratings for the LSU national championship. How high that was in the TV. Look at the ratings for the Super Bowl. Do you know that the Saints Super Bowl versus the Colts was the best rated television program in TV history?
Was. Yes, was.
What you mean was?
It got passed up.
Got passed up by who?
One of the Super Bowls.
Oh God!
I promise you. Look it up. It was.
God.
It was.
It was. But what it tells you about the state of Louisiana. People love the state of Louisiana.
We love our teams.
People love our team. We love our teams. And we got people from the state of Louisiana that's across the country.
Of
We got
course.
we got implants, baby. We got people that left the state that's in all over the country. They could be in the West Coast. They could be the East Coast. They could be in Canada. When they see Louisiana representing, they show up and they show out, man. That's straight up. So for that being one of the highest rated, and then on top of that, with all this other stuff, but I know we're gonna talk into the other deep things in the media besides that. But big ups for LSU winning it all. It's amazing because I talked with some people. I was at a sports bar Friday watching the semis, and I talked to some LSU people. It was amazing, and we talked about we looking ahead of time for next year. And guess what? These people did it in ahead of time. And when I say, man, big ups going to Kim Mo, well, aka Grandma Kim. Grandma Kim. I'm sorry. That's a young
Kim,
grandmother.
Coach Mo, this show. I want you on this show. Forgive
Gra-
him, please. Forgive him, please.
Grandma Kim, I'm telling you, she
Lord God.
reminds you of anybody's grandma like she is. She treats her players so well, and the way she mentors them, let them be who they are. You should hear the interview. You should watch the interview on Paper Chaser. I Am Athlete with I believe that's Brandon Marshall
Angel Reese, right?
and Angel.
Yeah.
See that interview with Angel Reese. When I say Coach Kim Mulkey was so big for her,
Oh yeah.
it's amazing, especially for her leaving a program like Maryland and Brenda Freeze
Mm-hmm.
and go to Kim Mulkey and just wow. Because
Yeah.
I know that Brenda Freeze is a hell of a good coach in
Yes, she
Maryland.
is. Got to
But
the
it
Elite Eight this year.
got the Elite Eight.
That's losing Angel Reese and Owusu, who transferred to Virginia Tech. Two
Wow.
players. Two
Something
players.
something must be going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking how she coaches. But some people might can't handle the intensity that Coach Brenda Freeze brings. But for her and her embracing Coach Mulkey and what she has done and everything and what this program has overcome to finally win it, not just win the first national championship in basketball overall. That's amazing
It
stuff.
is.
And we're gonna tell you more about the media coverage, but big ups going to LSU, man. Congratulations to them,
Definitely.
man. That's big.
What's up, Mick? Big time. Big time. I said she would win a title in 3 to 5 years. She wanted it too. I got breaking news.
I thought it was gonna be next year. I thought it was gonna be next year, especially with Reese coming back, Flage coming back,
Michaela
and
coming.
and Michaela coming, and all these other McDonald All Americans.
Yes.
I said to myself, next year gonna be the year. But they did that a year ahead of time.
Yes.
Woo! You got breaking news. Go ahead, give it to us.
Breaking news. Okay. Number one. Jordan Wright played 4 years at Vanderbilt. He is transferring to LSU to play his 5th year there. He's coming back home. Jordan Wright. Coming back home.
I think that was a story that Ben was breaking. I guess this is official now.
It's official.
Okay.
He reposted my story on Instagram,
Oh, now it's official. Now, okay. Gotcha.
I actually called. I didn't call. Texted Kaylin, and she said it. She said, "Yeah, it's official." Then Jordan reposted it. So yeah, it's official.
We gotta have him on the show.
If we could get him, I'll see what I can do.
No, we're gonna get him. There's no doubt. We're gonna get him. They're gonna know that all I know. Tell him about me. Tell him where I'm from. And I'm like this. We could get him in the off season because LSU ain't going to have their hands on him until he gets back in school.
That's correct.
Talk with him, see what's happening. We're a decent show. We love to have him on. We want to talk to him about because he says great things about Jerry Stackhouse as a coach. I want to get his time at Vanderbilt, and then also what he's going to think about going to LSU. But do you think here's my thing? Do you think, and no knocking him? I know that's your cousin. And I watched him at Dunham, and he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna make a difference to help this LSU men's basketball team? Because I'm not gonna lie, last season they were absolutely positively atrocious.
Without a doubt. He has a good jumper. He can get to the hoop. That's somebody that they definitely need. He could definitely help this team out, without a doubt.
Hopefully, he has a little bit of a supporting cast that
Yeah,
might
hopefully
come
so.
with him with there because I ain't gonna lie, I know it's the first year the new coach, but LSU just went below kind of standards a little bit last season, so they're gonna have to really turn it up. But I think with him at LSU, so he's there for 1 year, I guess.
Grad year.
Grad year. Okay, yeah,
Grad
because
year.
he finished at Vandy,
Yes.
and that's another thing we'll talk to him about his. I think he's getting his degree as well,
Yeah.
isn't
Without
it?
a
So
doubt.
that's awesome. So because Vanderbilt's a really really good
Great school.
academic school outside athletics. So
Yeah.
man, we could have went to a couple Vandy games, right? Oh man.
Breaking news number 2.
Oh, we got more.
Yeah, you ready? Before we get to the
Okay.
next topic,
Okay. Go ahead.
Shaw Baseball wins 6-3 over St. Aug. And he gets quiet. Wow, hey, I need Shaw to win more games against St. Aug to get him quiet. Perfect. This is unbelievable. Yeah. Take that loss, sir.
See, you lucky this is a PG show, because I would love to do what I really want to do,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that's all I gotta say.
Hey, bro, you just
That's
said, hey,
all I gotta say.
how you say it's a PG show and you do
No, 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 no,
X-rated stuff, man? Look
no,
at
no,
these
no.
people
See,
watching, man. What's wrong with you, man?
that's Generation X. So trust me, everybody know what it is. I didn't say the word.
You ain't
So
gotta say the word. You did the freaking.
hey,
Why
hey,
you do this?
hey. All I know, I didn't do the other thing that was worse, and you know what it was gonna be. But that would have been more worse than I did that.
All
That would have
right.
been more worse. I didn't moon.
Lord,
I didn't give you the finger, brother.
oh my
So
God.
that'd have been worse. At least I did something that was a little tasteful, not that
Oh,
distasteful.
oh Lord.
So all I know,
I'm just censor button.
man, I'm like this, man.
Blurred out.
Yeah, you could edit that. You could edit that. You know what I'm saying? But this your show. But we ain't about to do no embarrassing saying all Shaw stuff on this show. That's not cool. I didn't do that when we was when we interviewed Brandon Cersei.
Oh yes, you did.
No. Actually, Coach
Yes, you
Cersei
did.
started. No, actually, Coach Cersei started with the St. Aug thing. That's all it was. You know
Ladies
what I'm
and
saying?
gentlemen, as long as me and VK are doing this show, you're gonna see stuff about Shaw versus St. Aug. It's just what it is.
It's just what it
So
is
today
because
I did it, but later on there could be a St. Aug versus Shaw thing, but St. Aug win, and he gonna do it on the show.
yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, I'm
That's
with it.
coming.
I'm
That's
with
coming. When
it.
they playing just one time, so you got all the bragging rights this freaking year because of the fact, man. I don't know if St. Aug playing Shaw again the other time again because this is non-district because y'all in a low classification. So
We'll
great job,
see.
great
Thank you.
job. You guys
So,
might y'all guys might have a great chance of going deep in the playoffs now since y'all in a little more of a weaker baseball league. So
yeah, beat y'all.
golf claps,
Y'all the
golf
tougher
claps.
league. Y'all the tougher league. But anyway, let's
Of
move on.
course, we're in the top league. We're. Let me tell you something. To be honest, let me tell you, St. Aug has been blessed in the last 8 years of baseball. We
Yes, they
have
have.
made it as
I agree.
far to the
Yes.
quarterfinals. We have overcome so much in the
Yes.
Murderers Row Catholic League.
Yes, y'all
It's
have.
not even freaking funny.
Right.
So it's not comparing to back in the day when I was at St. Aug and we get our butts tossed like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what in that league. And
Yes.
like I said, in every sport, yeah, count every sport except baseball. We might have a couple of talented players that go to college, that can go deep to the majors. We have that. We just
Yeah.
didn't have a winning product until
That's
now.
it. That's it.
So that's what it is. But
Yep.
now I'm glad we have that. We got some great talent. But
Mm-hmm.
besides all that, congratulations to you guys. Woohoo! Whatever. Just. You better win district. If you don't, if Bell
We already
Chase
did.
win,
We already did.
wait, y'all beat Bell Chase one district?
Yeah. You
Well,
know what that score
congratulations.
was?
How
Beat him
bad was it?
yesterday. We beat him yesterday. Beat him 6-3.
Well, that was a good game. Bell Chase got a good baseball program.
They do.
So,
They do.
you know what I'm saying? That's a good
Yeah.
win. So, guess what? Handle your business in the playoffs. And maybe we'll see something. You might go deep for the first time in a long time. Because Shaw don't usually go deep in baseball playoffs. So,
I
you know what I'm
remember
saying?
when Chad was there, they got to the championship 2 straight years. Didn't win. Didn't win.
Didn't win.
Didn't win.
See, didn't win. Man, see, y'all
All
got
right,
there
look,
though.
we gotta move.
We'll talk
Let's
about it
move
another
on.
time. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
let's
I'm
move on.
tired. I'm
All right.
tired of that.
Yeah, I know you are. Here we
The
go.
the the the, the Jordan Wright thing was cool, but you just wanted to spring that up on me just for get laughs and giggles.
You gonna do it to me? You gonna get me back? I'm gonna be good with
Yeah,
it.
of
I'm gonna be
course.
fun with it.
Of course.
It's all in fun.
I need to bring on somebody. I need to bring on Angel Reese one time, surprise you, and see how you gonna react. You better not be starstruck either.
No, I won't be starstruck. I promise you I won't. I
Yeah,
won't. All right, here we go.
Angel gonna intimidate you.
Not at all. Not at all. Here we go. Let's move on. All right. So towards the end of the championship game, we saw Angel Reese tell Caitlin Clark go home. Did the Tony Yayo / John Cena, you can't see me. John Cena did admit he got it from Tony Yayo. And
That's big.
yeah, Angel Reese pointing to the finger. With all that being said, Angel Reese got a lot of backlash from people saying she's trashless, she's ghetto, hood. Keith Oberlin, she's a freaking idiot. Saying,
Oberman.
she has no class. Let me tell y'all something right quick, people. Caitlin Clark was doing the same thing. Told Haley Van Lith of Louisville to shut up. You're down by 15 points. Walked towards her and did this. Talks trash. Does the same thing. And people were praising her for it. She has swag. Oh, she's such a leader. So why doesn't Angel Reese get the same treatment? People? Let's speak about that. Call a spade a spade.
Yes,
People
indeed.
All right. If y'all saw Caitlin Clark do the same thing first and said, "Oh, she's not a true leader," okay, I probably wouldn't say nothing. Didn't you say something about Angel Reese doing it and say the same thing? I wouldn't say nothing. But guess what? I'm speaking right now.
Yeah.
And hear me carefully. Hear me carefully. I wasn't bothered by anything Angel Reese did. I wasn't bothered by what Caitlin Clark did before all of this. Part of the game. Caitlin Clark said she wasn't bothered by it. Said Angel Reese shouldn't be judged by that. We all talk a little trash. So what's the issue here? Okay, is it because Angel Reese is black and she's not supposed to do that because Caitlin Clark did it? Is that what y'all thinking? Or what? I want to know. I like to know.
Wow.
Okay, I like to know.
Well,
because it's done in the men's game, it's being done in the women's game, and many players in the women's game talk trash. It is what it is. I have no problem with what they did, but you're not gonna crucify Angel Reese and sit there and say Caitlin Clark of everything she did was just fine and dandy. She's a leader. She got so much swag. Oh, I mean, who was calling the game against South Carolina? I forgot her name when Caitlin Clark did this. She praised that. Hey, look,
Rebecca Lobo.
Lobo. You gotta
Rebecca
do it both
Lobo.
ways.
Ryan Rucco was calling the play-by-plays for play. She was calling Ryan Rucco called the play-by-play. Rebecca Lobo called. She was doing color
With the color. Gotcha.
Yep.
So
the great Rebecca Lobo.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But
yes.
but I'm gonna be like this, man. Plain and simple. What I see the last couple of days, the media coverage. First of all, talking about South Carolina's team being in the bar fight, disrespecting Dawn Staley.
Let me stop you right quick. On that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I, for one, in regards to the bar fight, I didn't have a problem with Coach Bluter with that. Reason why I didn't have a problem with her saying we can be in a bar fight, I looked at it like this. If you disagree with me, that's cool. But I looked at it like this. She knew she was going to get up against the defending champs that beat her by 36 points early in the year. She knew her team was going to have to fight to beat that team. That's how I looked at it. I didn't look at it like, something different.
I think that's a good point. I think you're making a great point. I see but I'm talking about the media. how they
Okay,
portray
okay,
calling South Carolina bar fighters.
okay. I got
That
you.
was the biggest thing that Don Staley took upon it. And you know what I'm saying, and what I seen with the South Carolina thing, the Caitlin Clark thing, the injuries, the media stuff. Here's my thing, and big shout out to Childish Gambino. Please look at the video. This is America. This is America. Straight up. That's what America is right now. That's what it is. Go look at the video. Look at that music video. This is what America is right now. And I can't stand what America is right now. And America, to me, in my opinion, and excuse me what I'm about to say, full of shit. Full of shit. Because you don't understand, and all these people about these racial freaking conotones, I can't stand it. I love being black. I love my country. I love where I'm from. But at the same freaking time, some people not going to disrespect my people. But then another thing is, why can't we work together? Why can't we freaking give props to where props being? You talk about Iowa, and no disrespect to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Great season. Good program. But you forgot an African American woman put him on the map, and her name is C. Vivian Stringer. Took him to the Final Four. Because you're going to disrespect Dawn Staley and South Carolina. The run they made. Didn't hear a damn thing about them having a run of being undefeated. Didn't see a thing on ESPN about that. I'm very disappointed in that. You can't disrespect a defending champ. And to me, out of all the years I've covered basketball, probably the most disrespect I've ever seen for a defending champ. Freaking ridiculous. And I understand how Dawn Staley feels. I was hoping Dawn Staley get to the championship. Now, all that happened on Friday and everything, big ups to Iowa. They outplayed them, big ups. But them for LSU to take that as motivation and understanding what happened and all that stuff, and Kim Mulkey, who has great respect for Dawn Staley, and felt like, hey, they're doing that to our SEC sisters. We can't let them do that to us. We can't let them do that to us. For Caitlin Clark and everybody, I'll tell you one thing: injuries and big ups to Caitlin Clark.
Without a doubt.
Being a big woman, being a true woman, and said, I didn't have a problem with injuries, did. Period. And all it is smack talking. Man, plain and simple. Let's call it what this is. And I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Right now, we're in the pussification of society. We're in a true pussification, meaning we're too damn soft. We're too soft. We don't teach people sometimes you have to go hard, or sometimes we have to shut up. Sometimes there are times we're going to have to chill. If people talk, let your game do the talking. But when there's a moment, go ahead and be emotional. Go ahead and do that. Don't go overboard, but go ahead and do that. This is your moment. Have your moment. Because plain and simple, I'm sorry. We're not trying to tone and everything. Now, did injuries really had to do that, like talking about it? Have your moment, but to be honest, no. I think it would have been a time to be like shake hands, great game. If you're intense in the game, cool. But after that, great job. All good. Congrats. That's it. For 4 quarters, it's supposed to be intense, and that's what it's gotta be. I can't stand it. And my thing is I understand umpires and referees, but here's my thing. Y'all need to stop being damn sensitive and let people be emotional. Now, if it gets to tempers flaring, that's when you step in. That's when you step in. When tempers flare. When tempers are not flaring and there's a little chatter, but if it goes too far, okay, stop that. But if it's just competitive and stuff, there's smack talking in the game. And there's moments when people are going to be emotional. When people be emotional, let them have their damn moment. Let them have their moment, bro. You know, it's just too much. What I
I'm gonna say
see. And what I seen, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish. To me, what the media said, I don't have a problem with none of it. It's just the fact the media just really twisted this whole thing. And this is America right now. This is racism. This is not just racism. This is a human freaking race issue. Everything need to come to better, and everything needs to freaking stop. Shaq, big ups to you. Tell him Keith Olbermann, and Keith Olbermann disappoints me so freaking much. Mr. Olbermann.
Oberlin.
No, Olbermann. I watched him in ESPN for a long time. Keep Olbermann. Let
I
me tell you
watched
something.
too.
Let me
I
tell you
watched
something,
too.
man. I grew up, you and Dan Patrick. I wanted to be you guys. But what you are, you not who you are, bro. Politics ain't you, dog. It ain't you. And that disappoints me so much. And to the president of Barstool Sports, you need to sit your weak ass down. You went out and did everything you can for Coach Prime in Jackson State, but you go sit there by Angel Reese. You need to sit your weak ass down and shut your weak ass up. And if I'm Deion Sanders, cut them boys off. They talk about our people. If anybody talks about our people, cut them off by the seams. We don't need you. You need more people. We don't need you. That's straight up, man. Straight up from the heart, bro. No problems with all this. It's just the fact this is what America is right now. It's sensitive, too sensitive to the core, and we need to get better as a people, dog. All around, especially media. We need to get better because it's stupid. There's a reason why I'm not in no newsroom or not no media place. Because I don't need to be there. Because it's just too much stupidness and politics in there, dog. I can't stand it.
Well said. Well said. Now, to the last topic before we get out of here.
Okay.
Jill Biden. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
I'm glad somebody else is not in here right now. You know what I'm saying? I love him to death, but this could turn into a politic thing that we don't do on this show. On behalf of myself, VK Jones, and Jared JB Boyd, the views said by me and JB are not related to the Hash It Out show or anything prohibited, and we do not promote the thing of we do not promote the subject of politics on this show. Thank you very much.
Yes. All right. But Jill Biden in Colorado had the nerve to say, yes, we'll invite LSU, but I'm going to talk to Joe and tell him that I think Iowa should be invited too because they play such a great game. When in the hell has the losers of a championship game, the runner-ups, ever been invited to the White House? When has this ever happened? She come out and say this crap, straight up slaps LSU in their goddamn faces by saying that. Has she lost her freaking mind?
Well, Joe Biden didn't have LSU. Joe didn't have LSU coming out of Baton Rouge region anyway.
I understand
You
that.
should have heard Angel Reese about that.
I heard about that. But bro, that's just fill out a bracket, Angel. Just fill out a bracket. Don't take that part seriously. If it motivated you, perfect. But I guarantee you this. I'm gonna say this. Let LSU have lost that game. Jill Biden would have never said, I think LSU should be invited also. You know, they played such a great game. No, she would have never said that. Not at all. Not at all. So
Well,
we know for sure who she was going for at this game. And I mean, I just can't believe it. You really said that?
Jill Biden, you have messed up. You have probably messed up probably the first visit of a sports team they had in the White House in a long time. You messed that up. Congratulations, Jill Biden. You messed that up because I don't think no teams that came to the White House when Trump was under office. I think every
team.
maybe had one or two, but not too many.
Kim Mulkey Baylor team went.
Well, I think it was one or two teams that came overall in his tenure because
Clemson.
Clemson.
That was the whole food. The food. Remember?
Yeah.
The fast food that was there when Clemson showed up.
That was crazy. But then LSU refused. When they won national champ, they refused to go. They didn't go.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah, you know all the videos, man. They all dancing. Yeah,
Oh, they
yeah,
did
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
They
they were
did
there.
go.
They were
Never
there.
mind. Never mind. They thought about not going and they wound up did going. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
did.
A lot of the sports teams, I think some of them did, some of them didn't.
I want to say
You
more
know.
professional teams probably didn't go than the college team.
Yeah. More
I'll
of
say
the
that.
professionals didn't go.
Yeah.
But for Jill Biden, she screwed that up, man. And I would not be surprised that LSU don't take the invitation. You know what I'm saying? Because that's very.
You heard
And I
Angel
think
Reese say we not going.
and I think for Jill Biden, she made a huge mistake doing that because it's just the fact of the matter is, what are we doing? Giving, and this is what society is right now. This is what I mean by the pussification of society. We getting everybody trophies. What the hell are we doing that for? What happened to earning what we work for?
Yes.
And if you're in first place, you get like I can see you're a runner up, you get a trophy, fine. But third, fourth, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you're not first or second, you don't get no trophy.
I understand
Nobody
third
gets a
for in.
freaking huh?
I understand third for like how can I say this? Olympics,
Olympics. Thank
track,
you. Olympics and track. That's
volleyball
it.
stuff. You know,
No, not volleyball. Olympics and track. Strictly
volleyball,
Olympics.
volleyball and Olympics.
Well, volleyball and Olympics. Yeah, everything everything that's in the Olympics and outside in track in high school and in college, where you have a third place or medal. So, and most of the time, some people might take the third place, but some people take third place. They not happy with it. They're like they'll take it, but it's almost like third place don't mean nothing. Like second, you just come so close to winning, but third is like. But I can see if you overcome a lot to
Mm-hmm.
get third, and it's like this is a well earned bronze medal. You know what I'm saying? I take it. This is a blessing in itself. I definitely get it. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing you could think about if you look at the bigger picture of how you work. But what we're doing giving out participation trophies in this don't make no sense. I think in this country it's nothing that's making sense right now. It's nothing making sense. It's just so stupid. Like, come on. Like,
I
why?
know something that's making sense in this country. I know
What
something that made sense.
what made
I know
sense,
why
my brother?
Jill Biden said what she said. Also, she want to get them Iowa votes.
Oh, we talking about the next election?
Yeah, she want the Iowa votes. That's
Get
what
them
she want.
Iowa votes.
Yeah.
Ain't that so?
she, I had somebody sit there and tell me, man,
That
Jill
doggone
said that
politics.
just to put college women basketball on the map. No,
No, bruh.
no, man,
No,
not at
bruh.
all. Not at
No,
all. She
bruh.
meant what she said. She really wanted Iowa to be there. And that's just a darn shame to LSU. Period.
It really is. And it to me, with all this happening over the weekend, I think, yeah, did we get women's basketball a lot of notoriety? Yeah, I think the games, the action, yeah. But I think all the other media coverage, the media coverage have and lack of, to me, has been the black eye, a true black eye
Yeah,
to women's basketball.
yeah.
Not, I don't think this. I think the attention was notoriety, especially for Caitlin Clark,
Caitlin Clark,
Angel,
definitely.
and for Angel Reese as well. Angel Reese, her NIL money is, oh my
Out of
god,
any college basketball player, NIL money for Angel Reese is the most.
oh my god,
Is the
yeah.
most.
She
That's
talked about
even more than a rapper, Flaugier.
yeah. If even more than Flaugier, because that's amazing.
Yeah,
Cause when I seen that, and I know you seen it, go back and watch Paper Chase on I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall. I forgot
yeah.
her co-host name. She's sexy as hell, but at the same time, she does a great job on there. Brandon Marshall's getting better and better. I think Brandon Marshall sometimes be pushing it a little too much, but it is what it is because he's really trying to work himself out. He's been through a lot mentally, but
Yeah,
it was interesting with the interviews they did, and when injuries talked about an NIL, I was like, my God, and she was like, because of what happened in the championship, not just for me winning, but all the attention. Now the attention, she's got more followers than she ever did,
Oh yeah,
and it's
without a doubt.
unbelievable. So she's taking advantage of it. She says she gonna be making, and she being real. She making
Yeah.
more money than the WNBA players. So she not in a hurry.
Oh
And
no.
I wouldn't be surprised. She probably gonna stay 2 more years at LSU. Next year and the following year, and she done
Yeah, she had a
because she
medical redshirt her freshman year. So actually next year gonna be her fourth year, but she might stay a fifth year. We'll see.
she might stay a fifth year, man, because she
Yeah.
know I'm making more money here. But then on top of that, she not in trouble at all off the field. She making the grades, and the good thing, Flage is doing the same.
Yeah.
And big ups to her. I mean, regardless, she came out alive late in the year, especially in the semifinals and championship. But for her to stay humble, do what she got to do in the classroom, and for her to do all that and make music, because you see, she did a new music video after the championship and all that. I mean, that's a lot of balance, and that's a lot of props to her, big time. And I think her and Angel are gonna really work together on some things, man. That's gonna be amazing. And I think they're gonna be maybe a new Barbie with Angel on there, man. She call herself the Bayou Barbie. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But she reminds me so much of AJ WNBA plays for the Vegas Aces.
Oh, Asia
A-
Wilson.
Asia
Asia Wilson.
Wilson. Asia Wilson. Thank you. She
Yeah.
reminds me so much of Asia Wilson, but more raw, more bold.
Yeah.
Because Asia, she's outspoken, but Asia is so humble, and she just focused so much on the floor, and she handles her business. But when she win it, like when she losing, oh, she humble as hell. But when she winning and she shows out. But the thing about it is the fact they have that innocence in them. They have that innocence of that little girl, that little princess. You know what I'm saying? That kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you see that little girl in them, and that's amazing to see. That's what Angel Reese reminds me of, but a more raw and bolder version of Asia Wilson.
Let
What,
me get back
what
to.
what's the look on what's the look on your
I'm
face?
gonna
You
get
got
to it in a second. I'm gonna get to it
okay,
in a
okay,
second.
okay. Uh-oh.
But
Okay.
back to Jill Biden. Jill Biden. Jill Biden, deep inside, she know what she was doing, and we all know she was wrong for that. Period.
Right. Absolutely.
She was wrong for that. I that I couldn't believe that at all, man. I couldn't believe that at all.
No
Now,
sense.
to why I made that face. Overtime.
Hmm.
Pelicans over the Grizzlies, 138 to 131.
Wow. What a game.
Pels with the victory, and
What a game.
right now on ESPN, with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, the Clippers lead the Lakers 63 to 50.
Wow, that's interesting.
So man, Pels get a
Yeah.
win, and this fifth through eighth, they're fighting for it. They fighting for it.
That's a good win for the Pels tonight, man. It's a huge win.
Big win.
A big bounce back after last night tobacco against Sacramento. And Sacramento's a really, really good team, and I think
Very.
they've really shown it. You know what I'm saying? They are their team that could make a run. I think they could do something, but the lack of experience in the playoffs will get them. But who knows?
Who
They can
knows?
they can make a nice run like Memphis did last season. But
Mm-hmm.
they're a team that can really build from there. But yeah, but Memphis, they looked good the other night. But tonight you had some glimpses, but credit the Pels. I mean, bouncing back, scoring 138 tonight. I mean, that's big for the Pels. And like I said, I had the Grizzlies as a favorite going to the finals. That changed. That changed because I
Changed
think
when Kevin Durant came, huh?
no, that
No.
changed. No, that changed because of all what happened with Ja and all this other stuff and everything. That really made me change my mind and made me feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're not ready. And to me, off season, they need to bring in Marc Gasol and Zebo to talk with their team, have a nice maybe 2 day seminar, and get them straight to understand what you're stepping into. And on top of that, how much potential you have. And you got to know how to control it. And then on top of that, for Zebo to talk to the job, be like, this ain't you. You understand what kind of pressure you're in. But there are ways that you can get this done. There are ways. I've been in these streets. You don't need to be out there. That's why Zebo needs to be there with him. because if this, I tell anybody, Memphis is on the cusp of taking over in the West. The New Orleans Pelicans are on the cusp of taking over the West. Those two franchises on the cusp. I think the Pels has so much of good direction that they can get there. For Memphis, they need that good direction to get there. And that's just being straight up because you have to think how good these two young nucleuses is, Jared. They're two very good young nucleuses that could go big, that could be successful big. I think New Orleans has the advantage because of the direction, the leadership, and the players. Memphis has experience, but the problem is they got to get mature. They got to know when to shut up. They got to know when to play their game. They got to know when to step up. They got to get that down pat if they're gonna become a contender and possibly win a championship. I think they have a chance to win a championship, but they just got to be mature. They got to do better than they are. It's ridiculous and that's disappointing.
And I'm gonna say this: you may be right with the Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies. You may be right. Maybe it can happen. But I tell you this: see this logo? We get that first pick of the draft
Oh
this year,
Lord.
and
Oh
we get Big
Lord.
7'4"
Oh
Wimbayama, if
Lord.
I say his name correctly.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we about to build it up, baby. We about to
Man.
build it up,
Man,
and we
y'all
gonna be
long,
back. We
y'all
gonna be back,
y'all
baby.
long way to go. You're a
It's okay.
long way to go. Let me tell you something. Let me tell
When
you
you gonna
something. You
see
have a
Wimbayama on
long way to
Sunday,
go.
and people gonna want to play with
Man,
Wimbayama, and that's gonna bring it in,
man,
baby. Yes.
y'all are probably 5, 6 years away.
Give me, hey,
Dude, you're
give
behind,
it to me.
dog.
Give it to me.
You're behind.
I take them 5, 6 years. I will take it. As long as we get to the playoffs in 3, 4, we good. I'm happy.
Don't the
But
Pels
anyway,
don't the Pels still got a chance at one of those top
playoff
draft
spots.
picks? Not just a playoff spots, but one of them draft picks. Don't they still got some chance to get a
The,
top draft pick off one of them deals?
it's all it's. I think if the Lakers didn't make the playoffs,
Well,
they so
you
Lakers in
know,
the play-in for sure. They in the play-in, so we'll see.
but they don't make the playoffs. The
We'll
Pels
see.
get that. The Pels get that spot and get that boy. Y'all about to be
It happen.
set back. Y'all about to be set back for 10 years,
It happen.
brother.
Spurs getting that pick.
Get off that wagon, bro. I feel you. You a diehard. How long you been a Spurs fan? You been a Spurs fan since David
Hey,
Robinson.
I've been a Spurs fan since when 90, 99.
Oh my God, man. You ain't diehard. You a diehard, you would have said David Robinson, Sean Elliott. I'd have been like, okay,
They were
you're a
there.
true fan.
They were there.
Late.
They were there.
Late.
They were there.
We talking about the times when they was getting it. All right.
Yeah. They were
Okay.
there.
Wait. You been a fan? Okay. I'm gonna let you ride on that.
Thank you,
But
bro.
this is 2024.
That's
This
right.
is 20. This is
That's a
20,
long time, right?
2023.
25
Yeah.
years. Yeah, there we
It's a
go.
long
5
time.
years. Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
I'll let you go on there. How long you been a North Carolina fan?
Oh, that's since day one.
Since you was a little kid.
Yeah. That's since been day one.
Okay.
Basketball, North Carolina, yes.
What year you was born?
83.
You was born in '83. All right. Let me school you just a little bit before we get off the show. Who was the most outstanding player for the Tar Heels national championship team 1993?
Uh what's
Mm-hmm.
I watched the game.
You
I
might
watched
be
the game.
seeing.
Remember like yesterday. Chris
Mm-hmm.
Webber went on the ball traveling, called timeout, didn't have no timeouts.
Okay.
What what's big boy name? The center. Was it him?
You're not even close.
He went the center.
He,
He went pro though.
he did go pro.
Okay.
He did go pro. That was Eric Montross.
Eric
And
Montross,
I actually met him in person. Took a picture with him and everything
okay.
in Chapel Hill. So yes. So you're right on you're right. He wasn't the most outstanding player, but who was the most outstanding player in that championship?
Who was it? Let me know.
Donald Williams.
Donald Williams. Okay.
Donald Williams.
Yeah.
If you know that, who is like the all-time leading assist man in the history
Oh,
of North Carolina.
dude, I cannot think of his name, but I know who you're talking about. I'm serious. I'm serious. I cannot think of his name, but I know who you're talking about. I'm telling you, I know who you're talking about. I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Dead serious.
Wow, he knows so much about the Spurs. He don't remember about the Tar Heels from the past.
This dude was the dude you're talking about was before Michael Jordan even played there.
Well, not him, but he passed him. Remember, he passed that guy. You're in the right idea. Phil Ford was the all time assist man.
Phil Ford, okay.
But he was supposed to be the head coach of the Tar Heels long time ago after Roy Williams, but he got in trouble with alcohol and everything. You know what I'm saying? But he been a scout for years. I mean, great guy. Ed Cota. Y'all to remember Ed Cota.
Ed Cota. Yeah, I remember him.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew for sure it wasn't Ty Lawson.
Nah.
Yeah.
Ty came close.
And Raymond Felton. I knew that for sure it wasn't them.
Ty came close to breaking it. But I think Ed Cota is still the all-time leading assist leader. Now, who's the all-time leading scorer in North Carolina and ACC history? Nah. I'm gonna give you one hint. Leave you one hint.
One hint, then we gotta go.
Here we gotta go.
All right.
He passed. He did pass Phil Ford. Phil Ford was the all-time leading scorer in Carolina history and ACC history. He passed him up. And I ain't gonna lie, one more hint. He was in the league for a good little while.
He was in the league. Okay. All right. He was in the league for a little while. All-time leading scorer.
All-time leading scorer. Don't cheat.
I'm not. I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. I don't think it's Psycho T. Not Psycho T. It's not Raymond Felton. Definitely not Sean May. Oh man. Hold on. I'm thinking. It's not Vince Carter. Antoine?
Wrong.
Who?
Your first guess was actually the right answer.
And who was that?
Psycho T.
Psycho T.
Psycho T.
Dang.
And I was there for the night he broke that record up in Chapel Hill.
Gotcha.
I was there at 2 events, and that's why I miss, that's why I miss my wife at, because we were big time Carolina fans. We went to 2 Carolina games that was big time moments. One, and it was the first time we went to a Carolina game together. It was actually Roy Williams' 500 victory.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, we went to a couple other games, but then another game we went to, and it was amazing to find out that particular time when I went to see her was the same night we went to that game and kind of find out, Tyler Hansbrough, he could break the record tonight. So we were there that he broke the record.
Nice.
Yeah, so but some great moments, but I'm gonna give you your props, your grace on that. You're a fan. I got you. You haven't jumped on. That's really, really good.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. We will be back next week.
What day we talking?
What'd you say?
What day we're talking next week?
Probably Wednesday again.
Okay.
Probably Wednesday.
Wednesday sound good. Maybe we'll work on getting on Grandma Kim on the show. I'm gonna try hard to see if we can get Grandma Kim and maybe Andrew Reese on the show. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to break through and bring on some big time guests.
Yes.
On there, like he put on social media earlier. We need to have some high school greats. We're gonna have some high school greats on there. We didn't have a legend on there and Coach Nate Roche, but also Randy Livingston. And I don't know if you know this, he's going into the
Hall of Fame.
Going to the Hall of Fame this year, and I didn't know that till I seen something about it. So You know
Well,
that.
yeah, we've had some legends already who are coaching, as in Roche, Randy Livingston. But I want not I, excuse me, I'm sorry. We want to get legends from all over, not just from St. Aug and Shaw and Hornville. We want legends from everywhere.
That's why we're hoping to get. We're hoping that soon we'll get Tamika Johnson,
Yeah, that's
uh,
right.
Alondra Brown. We're hoping to get. The one thing we need to work on. I know you got connections on this. Can we? It's a possibility. Can we get Simone Augustus on here?
I don't know who knows Simone. That's the thing.
I I, I think I might.
Tamika.
Tamika
You
probably
got Tamika.
does.
You got Tamika. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if she can get her, that'd be great. We have Simone on, and I know what
Hmm.
you gonna set me up for the failure. I already know it.
No, I'm not.
You better
No
not.
failure.
You know a discussion we talked about before about her about the great high school girls players we've seen.
I ain't gonna take that for failure. That's just
Okay, appreciate
yeah,
it.
that's just opinion. That's all. I ain't
Appreciate
set
that.
you up. But
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Because I know people who will do that to me and be like,
Oh nah, I ain't gonna do
this
it.
this this
No,
this guy said. They're like, whoa, wait a
I
minute.
ain't gonna do that. No,
Wait
I would never do that to you.
I,
I just mess with you when it comes to St. August Shaw. That's it. Other than that, I will never
mhm.
try to embarrass you, humiliate you. I wouldn't do that. No, I would not.
You would do it off air, but
Yeah, yeah, definitely off air. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Hell yeah.
We always set each other up for failure because he'll get me or I get him. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk offline about Tuesday night anyway. So you know what I'm saying, just for a minute or two.
What's
You
Tuesday
know,
night? I don't even know what it is.
no, this past Tuesday night, but we'll talk about it off there.
That was yesterday, right?
Right.
Okay, I don't even know what happened yesterday.
Right. We'll talk about that off
All
air.
right, all right.
Yeah.
But
But we'll have more guests on the show
yeah, we
soon.
have
I
more
can't wait.
guests, and like I said, come June and July, we'll have some high school legends. Our first guest we ever had was Linares Elphage. That's a legend in itself. But we're gonna
Mhm.
have more legends.
I'm
Those
a
who already agreed to do it: Bryant Lee from Hornville / Southern University, Terrell Harris from Shaw / Tulane. We got Big Fave, Marlon Fave, right? West Jeff,
Oh, he agreed.
LSU,
Okay.
and many teams in the NFL. So hey look, we
Well,
gonna have these guys. We
and
already
then
said it.
and also we're gonna try and have Keith Gardner, a dude that was an unbelievable athlete. He used to play for Nichols / Douglas in the
Okay.
'90s, and really, he played almost everything, and he's overcome a lot of stuff in his life to get where he needs to be. And I'm Facebook friends with him, and I can really set up an interview. Yeah, when I say his story is unbelievable, it's like we gotta have him on to tell his story because he had to overcome getting shot, everything else, recovering,
Yeah.
and trying to play football because he played at Nickel State. So, we'll definitely have him on. We're gonna try to have also David Johnson
David
as
Johnson.
well. We're gonna try to have him on as well to talk about his grind at Florida State and
Uh-huh.
also how he got where he needs to be, and also how his son feels, how he feels of his son following his footsteps coming up in Nichols. So we got some great guests coming up. We're also going to have some national panelists as well joining us. So we gonna have a lot coming up. You know what I'm saying? I know basketball is winding down. We got to start having some college baseball people on here as well because it's that time of the year where it's getting heated up, especially in conference play. Paul Maneri is one dude that has agreed that wants to join us on the show. The legendary Paul Maneri. So we're gonna have him on. So we got a lot of great things on the horizon on this show. So subscribe, tag, share, all that good stuff on Facebook. Myself, Deshaun Jones, Jerry JB, your sports guy on YouTube, Deshaun Jones on YouTube. Man, we're gonna keep this thing going. We'll keep it rolling, but continue to keep me in prayer. I got some personal business to take care of, but I appreciate y'all prayers and your love, your condolences and everything. You know what I'm saying? I gotta catch a flight in the morning. But I really appreciate y'all. But like I said, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We'll be back next Wednesday with another guest. Hopefully we'll have maybe the legend Carlos Sample finally join us. We've been working on that, man. It's been really, really tough, and hopefully down the line, I know you gave that thing to Mr. Clark and everything. Mr. Clark, your invitation's on the table, brother. It's on you. We understand you got contractual reasons, but we get it. But let us know if you could do it, man. But who knows? We might could come on your show. How in the world there's a show that's got 3 football guys and using a basketball term? Answer that question, Jared. Oh, you don't want to get in trouble. Look at this here. You get what I'm talking about, right? They got 3 football guys and got a basketball term for a podcast. I'm not trying to make fun of your title at all because I love what y'all doing. You, Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Crowder, how y'all handling your business? 3 SEC guys.
They pivot from one guy to another. That's it. They just pivot from one guy to another.
But you know that's a basketball term, right?
I know. I get it.
See, that's how smart I am, bro. I might not have been no freaking pro or college football player, but I know the game, bro. I've been studying too long, bro, to understand what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the fact, we got great guests coming up, man.
Definitely. My man right here, VK Jones. Special thanks to Coach DiMario Jackson for joining us. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. We'll be back next week. Until then, y'all take care.